Hi everybody, this is going to be chapter 24 if you know it as one. Thank you for watching this video, don't forget to subscribe, and here we go. We don't have time to mourn our dead. Our friends, the ones we barely get a chance to know. We don't have time to grapple with how many lives were lost, or responsibility for that. It's probably for the best. By the time we land Lex's ship outside of Patience Creek, the massacre is over. We are just in time to help the survivors escape. We don't want to be here when the Mogs send in reinforcements. There are other battlefields that need our attention. We fly into the night, leaving the quaint cabin and its secret tunnels behind. News trickles in front from around the world. Some cities have already fallen as a result of our warships opening fire. Others are holding strong, fighting a protracted cat-and-mouse game against the Mog ground troops, staying one step ahead of warship bombardment. Some armies have pulled back, waiting to launch a counterstrike. They are waiting for our help. One coordinated assault using the cloaking technology you have provided, Lawson says, once again going over the details. His satellite phone has been buzzing non-stop since we picked him up and other others. All our allies, England, China, Germany, India, every country with any military capability, we strike back simultaneously before they realize we have cracked their shields. We throw everything we've got at them while we still have got the element of surprise. And while that happens, we hit West Virginia, John says. We take out Cedric Straw and destroy what he's built there. John looks terrible. The wounds that he suffered at the hands of Ferry Ra have healed up, with the exception of the cuts running in his neck. But his pallor is still dramatic. The bags under his eyes now deep purple. With all of us crammed into this little strip, John is one of the few people who sits. He looks like he needs it. While he goes over the plan with Lawson, Marina snitches up the deepest of the gashes in his neck. He winces a few times. We didn't think to bring one of the surviving army medics on board with us. It's been a while since we couldn't just heal an injury. You know, Lawson says thoughtfully, eyeing Sam. If this young man can talk to machines, he should be able to communicate with the enemy warships. We could use him to bring down their shields. Sam's eyes widen a fraction. I'd have to be really close, he says, trying to be helpful. And I'm not sure how long it lasts, exactly. Like hell you're gonna use him, I say, interrupting. Sam's the only one who's been able to copy the signal. And you're talking about flying him into 20 different war zones so he can shout at their ships? Hasn't he done enough already? Lawson stares at me with a raised eyebrow. It was only a thought. Admittedly, the risk seems greater than with the reward. We stick to the plan, John says. Sam gives me a relieved look. I keep leering at Lawson. If this fails, Lawson begins. He won't, John insists. If he does, I cannot speak for every country in the world, but it will be America's position that if the enemy is unbeatable, we focus on saving lives. You're talking about surrender, I say. Lawson's lips form a tight line. Cutting our losses, he replies. Living to fight another day. Preserving the maximum number of lives possible. Jen and I exchange a look. If our counterattack fails, we probably won't be alive to see what comes next anyway. What Lawson does in that bleak future doesn't matter. Do what you have to do, John says. We drop Lawson in an open field outside of the Pittsburgh. There's a military convoy waiting for him, replacements for the squads that died at Patience Creek. The headlights of their Humvees are the only illumination out there. A cool breeze blows across the field, swaying the overgrown grass. Our group, Lorik, Human, Gargi, Fran, survivors, stand outside of Lex's ship. Gradually, the humans begin to drift towards the convoy. The scientists and the handfuls of surviving soldiers leaping the way. Wherever they end up next, it'll surely be safer than staying with us. I got teams standing by at the coordinates you gave me, guarding those alien rocks of yours, Lawson says. They are waiting on you. Once they are armed, we'll begin our attack. We're on it, John replies. How exactly are Earth's armies planning to take down the warships, I ask. Curiosity getting the better of me. Every country's a little different, Lawson replies grimly. From what I've heard, China and some others are planning to go nuclear. Most of the European Union doesn't want the risk to fall out, so they are going with missile bombardment. The hope is that these big holes of theirs cannot absorb much damage. And once you are through the force field, I mean, the hope is that these big holes of theirs cannot absorb much damage once you are through the force field. And America? John asks. Lawson replies, at my suggestion, we are talking a page out of your book, John. Flying the biggest personal carriers we've got right now down their throats, bombarding those ships and gunning down every goddamn alien we see. I like it, I say. I'll be right back. I have to get some water. Give me 1 second. Alright, sorry for that awkward interruption. I do not know how to edit my videos, so I'm just gonna leave it like that. Anyways, to continue. Lawson nods. He looks like he thumbs through his belt loops and looks us over. And then he nods to himself like he's satisfied we are his best chance. Or resigned to the fact. Hard to say. I suppose that's it, the general says. See you all on the other side. With that, he walks across the field towards the convoy. Caleb, whose twin brother apparently never really existed, moves to follow after him. Caleb, wait, John says. With a nervous glance at Lawson, Caleb stops mid-stride and turns back to face the rest of us. He stands next to Nigel and Ran. The Japanese girl is unreadable as usual. Nigel, on the other hand, looks shaken up. All the bluster from before is gone. His ragged Misfits t-shirt still bears the bloodstains from Patience Creek. Even though Marina healed his wounds, his latest taste of combat left more than physical marks on the Brit. Daniela stands next to those two, watching over them. I'm not sure exactly what happened inside Patience Creek, but it seems like the Hard City girl has developed some protected feelings for the two other human guards. Our planet's elder sent us to Earth to keep us safe, so that we'd one day be ready to fight back and avenge our planet, John says, addressing the humans. Today is that day. Where we are going next, it isn't a battle that you are ready for. We have trained our whole lives for it. Your training is just beginning. Your day will come. Daniela opens her mouth to protest. I catch her eye and subtly shake my head, shooting a look towards Nigel and Ram. She gets the message and stays quiet. Win or lose, tomorrow your world will be a changed place. It's going to need protectors. Eventually, you'll need to step up, John glances at Sam, who stands nearby and manages to smile. For now, though, I think the future protectors need protecting. We all had charms burned into our ankles that would keep us safe, at least for a time. We can't do that for you guys, but we can give you something else. I'm not sure what John's talking about until a Regal or hawk-shaped chimera lands on Caleb's shoulder. The boy jumps settling down only when it's clear that the bird's talons won't pierce him. Regal spreads out his wings and ruffles Caleb's hair. Bandit, the raccoon, scratches at Nigel's leg with his black paws until the Brit is forced to pick him up. Gamera, trundling across the grass in turtle form, ends up staring up at Ram. She bends down to run one finger over his scaly forehead, and, for the first time, I see her crack a smile. His name is Gamera, Malcolm says to Ram. I named him after a favorite old monster of mine. Ram stares blankly at Malcolm. He fought Godzilla, he explains further. And the very least she must understand. Godzilla, because Ren rolls her eyes and goes back to stroking the turtle. The golden retriever chimera, Biscuit, the one that Sarah was especially fond of, ambles over to Daniela, happily wagging her tail for when Daniela starts to scratch behind her ears. I notice a flicker of soothing of something on John's face. It's hard to say exactly what in that near darkness, but he seems pleased. And finally, with impossible agility for a feline of his girth, Stanley leaps into Sam's arms. He laughs, and at the sound of tightness in my chest eases. I'd been so terrified that something horrible had befallen Sam at Patience Creek and that we were going to be apart when it happened, just like John and Sarah. Only now I am finally able to relax a bit. Alright, Stanley, alright, Sam says, holding a heavy, purring cat in his arms. We can make it official. 9 skulls. You need to rename that stupid cat. These chimerae will be your protectors until you've come to fully grasp your legacies, John continues, glancing at Bernie Kosar, who, in beagle form, sits quietly at his feet. And then they will be your most valuable allies. One day, hopefully, we'll be able to help you more, train you like our Zepans trained us. 5, standing off to the side of everyone, chuckles darkly at that. Everyone looks at his direction, Marina's glare particularly icy, and he edges further away in response. But until that day, John continues, and then trails off. He doesn't know what to say, or maybe he doesn't think that day will ever come. Kick some ass and do Earth proud. 9 finally finishes for him. After that, Caleb, Nigel, and Ran say their goodbyes and join Lawson's convoy. Daniela lingers a little longer. She gives me a big hug, then runs to John and Sam. You know, I'm definitely badass enough to keep you guys out, she says. She jerks her thumb over her shoulder at the other humans. But someone needs to watch out for them. John nods, smiling tiredly. Take care, Daniela. Don't die, she responds, then joins the others. Sam strokes Stanley's head and eyebrow raised at John. I know you're not expecting me to live with them. No, John replies with a shake of his head. You're stuck with us. Malcolm crosses his arm, looking at Sam. I'm coming as well. Your mom would kill me if I let you face the end of the world without some form of supervision. I slip my arm around Sam's waist and rest my head on his shoulder. Seriously, I say, scolding him. Call your mom. Agent Walker is the last one to join the convoy. She stands in front of a group awkwardly looking from me to John tonight. Finally, she sighs. I just want to say, she hesitates. I just want to say thank you for giving me a chance to fix some of the damage I caused. She shakes her head and waves her hands. Thank you. Don't mention it, Knight says. Take care of those kids, Walker, John replies. They need someone to watch out for them. Someone who doesn't want to just use them for their powers. That could be you. Walker nods, turns, and heads towards the headlights of the convoy. Soon those headlights become taillights, and then we are alone in the dark field. Me and Sam, Malcolm and Lexa, John and Bernie Kosar, 9, Marina and Ella, 5. I'm the one to break the silence. Let's go win this war. Yet again, Lexa flies us north to Niagara Falls. The ride is quiet and somber, everyone too tired, or too much in their own head.